Hello, and welcome to the Depths of Erendorn monthly development log for December 2022. Throughout this video, we'll be looking through some of the work completed by each of the department over the last month, as well as taking the time to summarise the efforts needed to create a brand new online RPG. Let's get into it, starting with 3D modelling. The 3D modelling team would continue their work on the set of armour we saw at the end of last month. More plates have been introduced to bulk out the armour and give the knight a more imposing silhouette. Once the team were happy with the base layout of the armour, they began to smooth out the plates and add some extra details. Most notably, the buckles and straps on the back of the knee pads give the armour a more realistic look. The team will continue their work on the armour throughout the next month, adding more detail and looking into texturing the protective gear. The client-side team will continue their work on upgrading and improving many aspects of gameplay throughout the month. Some of the main improvements have been made within the user interface and mapping tools. Additionally, dungeons would also see some improvements as new assets get implemented and ready for gameplay. Finally, within both the open world and the dungeons, music can now be heard during combat and while traversing different zones, bringing a more polished feel to the adventures of Erendorn. The server team has also been working on some improvements to Depths of Erendorn. Both dialogue and world combat handling have been the largest improvements as the team work towards the next build of the game. Also, client reconnection handling has been implemented, allowing players to rejoin combat if they have been disconnected. Finally, several fixes have been made to smooth out crashes that have been occurring within the party system and the server. The animation team have worked on a couple of different movement cycles throughout the month, starting with the giant strike from the human knight. The team have aimed to polish and give the animation a more grounded feel. The team have applied the animation principles of exaggeration and anticipation to update the giant swing. With these, the movement cycle now gives the impression that the knight is putting everything into the swing and driving the sword straight through their enemy. In contrast to this, animations have been created for the bandit to be more simple. Due to the possibility of the bandits having less experience with a blade than a knight, the team have created these attacks to emulate this. With a few extra tweaks, these animations were also implemented into the engine ready for gameplay. The VFX team would focus on the corrupted ground event throughout the month. Starting with some concept pieces, the team have incorporated dark colours that will tie together the visuals and the in-game vibe nicely. The team has also included some features to the concepts that could be utilised within the event, such as drips, smoking abscesses and creeping tendrils. All these features of the concepts have been used as the team take the effects to the third dimension. Continuing to use the dark colours, the team layered the concepts together to create a range of effects that will be utilised within the corrupted world event. As the visuals are a work in progress, the team will continue to edit them throughout the coming weeks. The sound department will work on several in-game effects throughout the month, starting with some portal audio. The team have updated the sound that will be used in the open world. The enhanced audio now utilises more growling and mystical sounds to give the impression that the portal is a living entity. The team would move on to creating some audio for the corrupted ground event. Following on from the visual effects created earlier, the team aimed to tie all the visuals together using a set of audio. Using a combination of primary resources, the team have created a soundscape that gives the impression that the corrupted ground is a gelatinous entity that is constantly spreading. This soundscape will be added to the rest of the visuals and polished throughout the coming weeks, then implemented into the engine, ready for gameplay. And last but not least, the environment team have also been working on the corrupted ground event. Starting with a new texture, the team projected the corrupted ground into the world, altering its shape using a similar process we've seen from the set dressing in the previous month. Once this was implemented into the world, the team would also work on changing the trees that have been affected by the corruption. Adding a new feature to the client now allows the team to alter the material used on the leaves of the trees. With this, the team withered the leaves on the trees to give the impression that the corruption will change the world around it as it spreads. The team will continue their work on this event in the open world over the coming months. And with that wraps up this video development log for December 2022. We hope you've enjoyed. Much more work has been completed throughout the month than we can fit into this summary. Following the link in the description will take you to the Depths of Erendorn website, where you can read more of the work completed by developers. Also, for daily updates, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and Reddit, or join our Discord server. We hope you have a good one, and we'll bring you more next month.